Shalom. All praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Bahasham Racha HaKodash and double honors to the apostles. And to the elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the elect. I'm your brother Marco from the Great Millstone Jamaica camp with another lesson here to feed the potential elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Now, this is an article from the Gleaner, the Jamaica Gleaner. It says, battle lines drawn. Tapia says Jamaica should consider where it would stand in US-China war. Now, this article was published maybe like 2 days ago, which was that December the 30th. Yeah, I'm just getting to it. Brothers did lessons on it. You know, um, I think it's my time to have my two says on it. But before I reach into the article, I want to get me a scripture. It's a very powerful scripture to what's happening right now between um, Jamaica and the United States of America and China. And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 verse 7. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face. Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such an one hath found a treasure. Right? And I had to read this because over the years, various party leaders, various governments, or governmental bodies that came into power tried to go in bed or to be in league with this devil, with the enemies. And it was Portia Simple Miller that went to China to get aid from China against the United States of America because of the hardship that was upon us. She went there with a plan, basically, I guess for China to buy the death of to ease let me say that, to ease the pressure from the Jamaican people. That's what she went there for. But anyways, it's more that, because see what they are not acknowledging is that the reason why China is so powerful is because the elites they are behind China. See, so it's not the Chinese, so-called Chinese, which are the Moabites according to the scriptures. It's not them that are in power. It's the elites. The UN is using China as a major hub for this agenda that they're pushing. So when our leaders, so-called, going around seeking friend, they haven't proved them. Michael Manley, and I keep on saying this in my lessons, man. Michael Manley proved them, and he saw that there was none good really, but all was for their own benefit. And the big nose guy that's in power now, he's gonna know by example in full effect. So let's get back to the article. Battle lines drawn. Tapia says Jamaica should consider where it would stand in US-China war. No, the entire earth is or has been distracted on this whole pandemic, and behind the scenes you have wars brewing in the Middle East, which you can't really take your eyes off that because that's prophecy. The Lord promised that He's gonna bring forth a third world war, so you can't really take your eyes off that, right? And also, there's a famine coming. See, so don't get distracted only in this pandemic. You have to, you know, keep eyes open because the collapse of the dollar is close as well. So we're gonna go into some serious times. But anyway, it says for the roughly 16 months that Donald Tapia has been Washington's top diplomat in Jamaica, he has been urging the Andrew Wallace-led government to steer clear of Chinese 5G telecommunications technology, arguing that it poses national security risks, right? In an exclusive interview with the Gleaner ahead of his departure for the United States next week, as his tour of duty ends, Tapia laid into the Chinese again with one final parting shot. He accused the Chinese of using a local network to listen in on his telephone conversations, adding that it also threatened long guarded national intelligence reciprocity between the Jamaica Defense Force JDF and its US counterparts. Right? Like it's gonna go down deeper, right? It says Tapia said that he was not actually warning Jamaica, but was inviting a conversation of circumstances to make people take a look at things that would or could happen. Being a goddamn devil, that's a warning. No, for the regular fool, you can play that card. That's a warning. Better yet, a threat. That's a threat. To get deeper into it, it said the ambassador, it doesn't mean it is a warning. It's just saying, look, here is where the world is moving. Here's where the government of the US is moving, where Europe is moving, and one of the things you have to look at is if the US goes to war with China, what umbrella would Jamaica be under? Because that's a good question. What umbrella? You know, what covering the Jamaica government would be covered with or covered by? Because they're in league with China and they're in league with the US, and they have to pick a side, and they're also in league with the UN. So what side are you going to pick? Let's get some scriptures, man. Let's get some scriptures. No, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 30. Let's get the book of Isaiah chapter 30. Alright. Verse 1, it says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel but not of me. So the counsel that your politicians have taken was not of the Lord, it was of these men. If they had consulted Yahweh Shami or Shai, they would have got the answer. Because here we are speaking this for years, telling you what's gonna happen. But before, we were so insignificant because you didn't see these prophecies playing out here. But now you're seeing it happening right before your eyes. Now, and you get caught up. Now it's a mess, right? It says that they may had sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth. Now, mother in Egypt is America. That's where we face our bondage. And even until this day, you have replicas of Egypt in that bitch ass place of a country. He says to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And the strength that you strengthen yourselves in the strength of Pharaoh, you borrow their money and you make leagues with them. which when you go back to the law, the scriptures say you're not supposed to make no covenant with these heathen. And see, you make covenants with them, now your ass in a trap. Yeah, now your ass is in a serious trap. Verse 3 says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And right now I can tell you that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is confused as F. Trust me. He's confused, man. He's really, really confused. Now, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes 10 verse. Where is it? One second, bear with me. If I think it's 8. Ecclesiastes 8 verse. I'm going to show you why. One second. Alright, Ecclesiastes 21 and 8, my bad. Alright, Ecclesiastes 21 verse 8, it says, he that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. And that the way how the infrastructure here was built by China. Well, the modern infrastructure, and then you have infrastructures also that was put into place by the US. So whose side are you gonna be on? Who you gonna pick? You know? Well, we can tell you that we choose the side of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, our Lord. You know, you're in some deep shit. You government official, you're in some deep shit. And the Lord is the one that's doing that to you, man. You know, he's gonna damage you, and the Lord's gonna show you up for the devil that you are. You know? Let's get to Isaiah 28 verse 14 says, wherefore hear the word of the Lord, these scornful men that rule his people, which is in Jerusalem. Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hill shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then he shall be trodden down by it. So your judgment is coming, you scornful men. No, to the regular people, you honorable bro God, you might think you're so right. Well, they might think you're somebody, but to the Lord, the Lord said you're a scornful man. And it's not just only you, it's all of you. All of you that sit in the house of the holes, you know, have some form of play over the people of the Lord, man. You know, to pollute the minds of the people, to destroy the Lord's people. The Lord's gonna get all of you for that, man. Every single one of you, the Lord's gonna get for that. Right? So let's get back into the article. It says, would you be under the umbrella with China or under the umbrella with the United States? He said, during an October visit to a military base in southern province of Guangdong, Chinese President Xi Jinping called on troops to put all their minds and energy on preparing for war. And your government is not doing that. They're not alerting you people that there's a war coming. But we are. But I know we are so-called conspiracy theorists, because we're warning the people of what's to come. Because the Lord said we're supposed to do that. The Lord said, hear the words of my mouth and give them warning from me. Because this third world war that's coming, the Lord is the one that's bringing it. He says he was speaking amid tensions between Washington and Beijing, which remain at their highest point in decades, with strong disagreements over trade, Taiwan, and the Big C pandemic. You know, it says 6 weeks ago, when the president of China stated to his army, "Be prepared for war," you local media didn't. It says didn't report it. You didn't report either that the Swedish government, their prime minister, came out and said the worst danger to Sweden was China. Tapia said, seeking to strengthen his point. People are lost, man. People are lost. But the third world war is gonna be in the Middle East when they attack Iran, man. But all these things that you see happening is just building up for it. It's just building up for that day when they attack Iran. Seeing? And these puzzle pieces are fitly framing together perfectly for the day of the Lord. He says they have borrowed the 5G. The Chinese have Huawei equipment in Sweden, and he made an interesting comment that should resonate with everyone in the world. The Chinese president says, "You should be prepared for war," the US ambassador told the Gleaner. You see, and everybody should prepare for this war. But with you Israelites, you're supposed to be preparing spiritually. You know, the Lord, what did the Lord say? Let me get that. Let me get that. In Second Ezra 16. Let's get that. Second Ezra 16. My bad. Verse 58. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on, no. Oh, make your so yes, we're supposed to be ready. Hold on, be me 1 second, eh? Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Sixteen or 40. Oh my bad, Salakia. Right. Alright. So this is Second Ezra 16 verse 37 says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side." Literally, you know, literally on every side. Seeing so you have financial problems, you have pandemic problems pertaining to illnesses, you have what else? Info problems, the internet misinformation out there. You have food problems because there's a famine coming and we can't stop stress that. Um, a whole lot of problems, man. Right? Verse 40 says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." So the Lord is saying that we're supposed to what? Be ready for that battle. And he's saying we're supposed to be ready spiritually. Spiritually. That's why right here in the article it says the US ambassador, hold on, it says the Chinese president says you should be prepared for war. The US ambassador told the Gleaner, but it's not just the Chinese president said that. The Lord is saying that, man. Because there's a war coming. He says he pointed out that the United Kingdom, which at one point was all but set on utilizing Huawei Telecom's product, only to reverse that decision, did so out of an abundance of caution. Could you imagine then what that would mean, especially for Jamaica being so close to the US? The data the Chinese 5G Tapia acts, just think of it. You saw that England went with Huawei, then reversed themselves and said they are not going with Huawei because the fact is you are transmitting intelligence, moving troops to a country that you might be at war with. And basically I can leave the article there and you go into it, you know, by yourself, which basically it's almost finished, but see, you get the point. See, there's a war coming. Very, very serious. There's a war coming. The war of Armageddon. And these people, these scornful men, basically have to pick a side. we know you're gonna actually pick a side, but not the side of the Lord, because your trust is not in the Lord, man. Your trust is in men. So let's get the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5, and it reads, "Thus saith the Lord power, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his harm, whose heart departed from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For he shall be like the heat in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in the salt land, and not inhabited." Right? Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord power, and whose hope is the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So that's it. The time of drought, the year of drought is coming. Drought of information, knowledge is coming, but because you have trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and conform to his ways, the Lord's gonna protect you, man. And if you trust in these men and their agenda and the image of the beast, you're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna be scorched, man. And basically that's the point. That's the whole point of the matter, man. And with that, I want to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachah, Kodash, Shalom.